Hello and welcome back. So today we're up on the top again because we need to be here for what we're going to start today. We're going to start with Thaumcraft. I initially thought to start into vampirism again, but I'm still not quite ready for that. So we're going to start into Thaumcraft and kind of get that ball rolling and see where we can end up with that. So the first thing we would normally need to create, well actually the first thing we need to create is going to be a wand. So for that, we're going to need 2 of our iron caps and a stick. And now we got a wand. Normally now what we would do is take a bookshelf and we would smack it with this wand and we would get our Thaumanomicon. But we don't need that because I've found a couple of them in loot chests as we've been going. So this gets us to this point. And aspects, what are we looking for here? Those are the primals. Where is it? Okay, that's how you get the book. I'm trying to remember. I know what the recipe is for the thermometer, but I wanted to see where it was in here. I would imagine I'm probably looking right past it, but I don't see it. Maybe? Ah, there it is. So we need 2 shards of any color combination, 2 gold and 2 glass. And look, we happen to have that. So we're going to go 2 shards, 2 glass, well, 2 gold and 2 glass. And this is, to me, aside from the research, this is kind of the one point. When I first did Thaumcraft, this was really neat. You go around, you hold your right click, and you scan things, and you go, I can't do that one. What can I do? And then you kind of move around and you start finding things. It's like, oh, I found something new. And you kind of keep going. You keep digging. You keep looking. But after you've done it, a dozen times, kind of gets a little old. But you kind of got to do it. Get going with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run around and scan as many things as I can find and try and get the aspects opened up. And once I get closer to that, I will be back. Alright, hello and welcome back. It's been about 30 minutes or so. I've gone around and scanned pretty much everything I can think to scan, but I've kind of hit a dead end. So when you scan plants, it says I need sources of life. And there's also like spirit and things like that I haven't been able to find, and I can't remember what it takes to get them. There's kind of like those keys that once you get them, everything kind of unlocks. So what we're going to do to speed things along, we are going to create some tables. So I've already got 1, so we're going to create a second one because we need 2. So for the time being, we're just going to plop them down somewhere. That should do. And now we need research because I want to get that table going. So we need a glass vial, feather, and some form of ink. Now a glass vial is some clay and 3 glass. That gives us those. We need 1 of those, a feather, and ink. That gives us our scribing tools, which we need. Then we walk over here, then we smack the table with it. And now we've got a research thing. So what I want to be able to do here, don't want to do that, get out of there. I need Victus. And Victus we get by combining Terra and Aqua, I hope. Okay, so that's life. That's kind of one of our core components. Now, if we combine life and earth, we have Herba. Does that let us do this? Please? Yes. Okay. I've been going nuts trying to get this to work. So now we can kind of start scanning a little bit more things. Study of men, yeah. Apparently people are confusing. So we're going to create a couple more of them here real quick based on just kind of my memories. Let's see, I think it was air and order. Yeah, air and order gives us modus. We already got Victus. We don't have... Can we get Mortis? Life and chaos. Okay, that gives us Mortis. Then with that, we can use, I think it's light, oops, this. Okay, that got a spirit. Okay. Now we've got spirit and we've got Modus. Now if we do, I don't have any more life. What was life? Can't remember. Terra and Aqua. Kind of burning up some of our points here, but the more of these things that get opened up, the easier some of this stuff will be. So now we need some more life. Okay, so life and where'd Modus go? Modus. That gives us Beast. We've got Spirits, we've got Mortis. Cognito. Cognito we don't have yet. But actually, yeah, we can do that. And there. Where'd it go? It's here somewhere. Why can I not see it? I wonder if they changed the icon, or am I blind? Veritas, am I blind? I thought Cognito was a little owl. Oh no, it's the brain. The owl was something else. That's why I didn't see it. Okay, so now that I've got these, we should be able to scan more things, like heads. Can I? Yes. Ooh, that's got us whatever the meat is. Meat is corpus. I can't learn anything from her head. Her head is of no use. Herba. Arbor. Okay, good. So now, since we had Herba, we can get Arbor. And can we scan an apple? We don't have the study of man, because apparently you cannot understand an apple until you understand a person. Some strange things. So now we can pretty much just run around scanning everything, trying to catch up with the points, because we'll need these research points later on to start doing some of our things. Oops, nope. That's good. We'll go to vacuum hopper. Whoa. Oh, that got us alienus. Don't remember if I had alienus before. Chest. I've already got oak leaves. Already got oak wood. What about a barrel? Can we scan a barrel yet? Oh, we can. Wow. Impressive. Okay. So we've got a little bit of that done. I think that might be enough to kind of get us going. So let's find out. Where is it? I need some of that. Need one of these. One of these. Go in here. Make ourselves a bunch of paper. And another one of these inkwells. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open this up here. Let's take a look. What do we want to do first? Because we pretty much have to do everything. Research. That gets us to the auto disassembler. Node tapping is probably the direction we want to go. So we click on that with paper and this scribing tool in our inventory. It burns up a little bit of that durability and gives us this research note, which we can toss in here. What are we missing? And we're missing something, so we can't do that. Okay, let me go figure out which one I'm missing. I will try and retrieve that, and then I'll be back. Alright, and we're back. So I figured out which one was missing. I think it was Aurum Magic. What I did, though, is I created the research note for this one for research expertise, and that's kind of what I'm messing around with right here. And now I will be the first one to admit I am terrible at these things. So I kind of flail around in them a little bit. So most of these I will probably do off camera because I end up wasting a ton of materials. But basically what we're trying to do is connect the dots. So is it Cognito contains Ignis? So if you look here in the aspect list, the reason I'm pushing towards that one is it'll let me hover over them and tell me what they're made of. Otherwise, right now to get to Cognito, okay, I got to come in here and go, Cognito has Ignis and Spiritus in it. So then I come back in here, okay, so I can do an Ignis right here, and these will combine because Cognito contains Ignis. So now I can also do this, I can do another Cognito here, and they'll link because Cognito contains Ignis. It also contains Spiritus, so they'll link. But now Sensus here also contains Spiritus, so they'll link. I did the same thing with Potentia. Potentia contains fire, and then it links up, and potentially also contains ordo. So, like I said, most of these I'm going to do offline because I'm horrible at them. So that was done. So let's take a look at it. So research expertise. Remove an aspect. Yeah, so if you place one down and then remove it, normally you lose it. But this will allow us, yeah, there, see what aspects you need to combine. That's what I'm looking for. So now if I put it here, if you look, it now tells me that Meadow is created from Messus and Instrumentum. So now I know I've got Aurum here. So Aurum is made up of Precantatio and air. Or I can look at Permutation, which is the Paradito and Ordo. So I can kind of start building the link together. Like if I had enough of the Aurum, if I had a whole bunch of Aurum, if I really wanted to, I could just go, I could take this symbol right here, the Precantatio, I believe it is. Yeah. I could put that here, then Aurum, then Precantatio, then Aurum, and they would link. But, you know. Actually, maybe I have enough. Do I? Let's be wasteful. So you left click, drag, drop. Drag and drop. Drag and drop. And now you do not have to connect. I don't have to touch every single one of these. They just need to all be linked. So if I can go here and then I can go here, it'll work. If I could go here and here, it would work. It doesn't really matter how you do it, as long as they link up. So let's see what makes up this one. Oh, permutation, Percantia, or whatever the heck it's called. Has Potentia in it. Modus has Ordo in it. So what we can actually do here, now keep in mind, not efficient at all. Now we need Ordo. And then if we put another one of these here, oh, they're linked. Now this also has Ordo in it. So if we, wait, did that link? Oh, that's right, I gotta link it more than Ordo. There. So this also has Ordo in it. So we can actually daisy chain this over again. And we'll just do that because we don't care. And boom, they link. And now we've got advanced node tapping. Tapping into nodes resulting in the double. Okay, so I can draw double the rate. Let's actually go find a node right now. I know there's one over here. Wait, is this the right direction? Yeah. There should be one. Whoa, hello, hole. Oh, great. Alright, right back. Okay, horrible terrain glitch resolved. Now what we need is, because we can't see these things yet, we need the little thermometer, whatever it's called. So this is our node. Judging by the color, I'm going to say it's got some fire and some water in it. So let's see if we can, oh, maybe. Yep, oh, that's a good one. So it's got Paradito, Ignis, and Aqua in it. So now if we target it, which we can hardly see it now, and right click, we will draw power out of it. Now the problem is, because we can't see it and we aren't skilled enough at it yet, it is entirely possible for us to just rip this thing down and drain it completely, which we do not want to do. You always want to leave it a little bit left, that way it can regenerate. So we're going to leave that one alone. The nodes are a very good source of the primals as you're going, and since you can combine them to craft the other ones, it actually works out pretty good. Do we see any other ones around here? Basically, if you can get enough of the primals, you can craft it up into anything else. It's a bit of a pain to constantly have to build them up from scratch, but at the same time, it's easier than going out and shredding what you need to get the components. There's got to be some more nodes around here somewhere. I've been kind of keeping my eye out for signs of hungry nodes, but I haven't seen any yet. Problem with a hungry node is you kind of need to be around it for a while. Oh, can't learn anything from that. Or that, apparently. Short grass, how about that? Or that. Apparently we can't learn much right now. Do we have any more nodes that we can scan? Because that would be nice. Just put a torch there. I want to get the goggles. Once I get the goggles, I can combine them with my helmet, and then this gets a lot easier. Because if you can kind of whoosh around the landscape at night, the nodes give off just a little bit of light just enough that you can kind of see them. It'd be like seeing one of these from a distance. It kind of lights up a few blocks around it. Not a ton of light, but a little bit. What about you? You are useless to me. Oh, experience. And you? Ooh, not bad. Dead plant. Did I scan a cactus? I did. And grass. What about you? It didn't do what I wanted to do at all. How about one of these? This is kind of what Thaumcraft is like in the beginning. Well, I don't see any more nodes, so we're not going to dig around too much. Let me complete a few of the researches, because I want to... Let's take a look here. Node preservers, one of the ones I want to get next. This one, if we create the next tier up of wand, will allow us to just drain away the node, and it will always stop at one of the aspects. So we won't burn it up all the way, which is a good thing. The deconstructor, as it goes, you basically slap materials into it. You can use a hopper, and it will deconstruct them into their base components, slowly allowing you to choose other components from them. But what we want, this one, there it is. We want goggles of revealing. I want to make those. So I'm going to get this researched, and then I'll be back so we can make our goggles. And we're back. All right, so I got that researched, and I still have experience on me. There we go. So now what we need to do is we've got the recipe, but now this requires that we create it in an arcane workbench. And the arcane workbench requires a table to create. So I made a table, and let's just put it right there. And these tables, just like Thaumcraft, you smack them with a stick. Now, the recipe, this recipe is actually fairly straightforward. It's nice. And you always want to keep at least one of these because you can't scan things with the goggles. Now you can see we're missing Terra, Ordo, and Air. So I need to go out and do some node hunting. So I'm going to do that, get the power, and as soon as I've got that, I'll be back and we will craft those, and then we'll see if we can jam them into this helmet I'm wearing. And I'm back. So it took a little bit, not that long actually, but I managed to find the elements we needed. I marked a few nodes. So now we've got none of these are flashing anymore, so we've got all the components we need so we can make our goggles. And you can see it drained out of my wand a little bit here. I'm not going to be using that one for very long. Now, what I'm trying to remember here is I thought if I just combined these, yep. So now I got these neat little shades on. Now, if I put this away, let's go back over and we'll guinea pig the, you can see I found an Air and Ordo node over there. So now as I get over here, let's not fall in that hole again. The section we need isn't loaded. Come on. So now you can see I can see this node just by being near it. So I'm just look at it and I can tell how much is in it, which is great because otherwise I have to have that thing out all the time. This also means that as I'm kind of flying around, I'll see these nodes, which makes them a little easier to kind of scope out because you've got a little bit of tunnel vision when you're looking through this thing, and I've walked through a number of cactus that way. Let's see here. Alright, let's get back into the base. I'm going to look at the manual again and see if there's anything else we want to give a try. There's basically just a ton of research I'm going to need to do. Because let's see. I don't want to start stepping on the forbidden stuff right away. Kind of want to tiptoe into that one. Gullimancy, this is kind of where I want to be. Now these ones, these hexes, we can buy these. So you can see it's just got 3 of the, I think it's Fames and Vacuous. So that's the cost. So if I click on that, I've now bought that. So I can now create a hungry chest, which is kind of a neat little gadget. It's kind of like a limited range vacuum hopper. But you can see I don't have enough for the bell yet. Oh, I just bought Stroh Golem. Hey, cool. Oh no, I didn't buy it. I researched it. Duh. I'm paying attention to what I'm saying. You know what? I'm going to make this, and then let's see if we have what it takes to make a golem. So I'll be right back, and I'm going to see if I can get that done and see if we have enough to do it. All right, and we're back. Let's take a look here. All right, so the first thing we're going to need is we're going to need a Gullimancer's Bell, because we need some way to actually control him, although I don't think we're going to have any cores quite yet. Now, the Gullimancer's Bell is just 4 nether quartz and a stick of some form, and some Ordo. So we've got that here, 4 nether quartz and a stick. So now we have a Gellimancer's bell and a wand that's nearly empty. Now, this is where things will get interesting. So this is our straw golem. So this is the recipe to make him. He's kind of your entry-level golem. So he needs 4 humanus, 4 modus, and 4 spiritus. This is kind of your basic pattern for a golem. It usually just depends on what you throw into him. Now, right now, we don't have any way of doing this in a clean manner. So basically, we need to get 4 humanus, 4 modus, and 4 spiritus into that thing. The only way right now we have to do that is 4 rotten flesh has 4 humanus and 8 of the other component in it, so we're going to have some byproducts. We need modus, so 4 doors, which is going to end us up with 4 of the mechana and 16 of the arbor left over. And then for the spirit, this gets us that left over. And then we throw this thing in here. So the first thing we're going to do, the very first thing we need to do is get our cauldron set up. Now, let's do that. So normal cauldron, and smack it with a stick. And now we've got a cauldron. Now we need this cauldron heated. Now I found a piece of night ore in one of the, I think it was in one of those evil chests way out there. So this will work. So we can just put the night ore there. Normally at this stage you can either use burning wood below it, or I think usually I would have a piece of netherrack down there lit on fire. We need to put some water in it. Now this is a heat source, so once that water starts bubbling, it will burn you if you step on this thing, so kind of keep that in mind. Get our materials here, because we're going to need to do this fast because we've got so much extra junk in there. This will start to decompose quickly. So what we're going to have to do is, I'm probably just going to do this real quick here. So toss, 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 toss. And we got a golem. Now, so we got our first straw golem. And if we look at this thing, you could see it. It has all that extra gunk built up in it. And that's what it turns into, which we do not want. Go away. Now this isn't ideal. And eventually we have cleanup. We kind of have your toxic waste cleanup materials we can do. So, and you have to watch when you're cleaning this thing. If you still have water in it, and like I broke that piece of brick or piece of dirt, it could fall in there and you'd end up with more terra. So you kind of end up back where you started if you're not careful. So we're going to put some more water in there just because, you know, clean it up after we're done with it. So now we've got our golem. So what can we do with our golem? Because right now if we put him down, he's not very animated. Looks kind of neat, but he's not very animated. We can click him with the bell. Ow, ow, Bernie. But he doesn't do anything. He doesn't have a core. So that's what we're looking at right now. Oops. Come on. So, cores. Of the cores we have right now, the gather core is pretty much all we've got. We can get the rest. Like the harvest core is actually pretty nice to have. We've got a fill core, an empty core. I believe I think the fill core might allow him to put water into the pot for us. But this one you can actually pipe into, so if I wanted to, I could put an infinite water source somewhere and just use extra utilities or thermal expansion or something to pipe water in there. That can be useful. But let's see. Probably the harvest core is going to be the most useful, but we don't really have any of those. And see, now we need night ore. And do we know how to make night ore? I think that's under, yeah, right there. We do not know how to make night ore. So, can we... Scribing tools. Did I not have... Oh, I put all my paper away. Gotta have paper in your inventory. Wait, let's check something here. That thing broke a torch. I like my town monster free. Alright, so we got our scribing tools. See, here's an example with the kind of sidetrack here. Way down there, there's a node. You can just kind of see it to the upper left of my cursor there. I can see it way off in the distance, which is really nice when you want to track them down. I think what I may do is I want to open some of these things up. I want to get some of this moving. I want to get, let's see, we'll buy a wooden golem. We'll buy a clay golem. We don't have, oh, we're missing Spiritus and Modus. Flesh golems are amusing, but they're forbidden magic, so we're not going to start off with those. Order will buy right now, because an order core in a gather golem will allow, or a harvest golem will allow him to replant. So he'll not only break the plant, but he'll replant it for you if he does it, which could be useful. I don't know if we have anything else useful in any of these yet. No idea what most of this stuff is. It looks neat, but I've never actually done anything with these mods before. Ooh, that could be interesting. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to end on this because I want to get some research going. I'm going to need to, I'm probably going to need to unlock this one because I need to start getting some of our materials, and I can just hopper it into it, kind of go from there. But I think that's what we'll do. Next time we come back, I want to try to get a core on this little guy. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Is it shift or... I keep throwing my book on the ground. This is kind of important with the bell. Left clicking picks it up with all its current upgrades. So this is one thing you want to remember. If you left click your golem, you pick him up. If you shift or sneak left click him, it basically shatters him. You'll get him back and most of the things you had attached to him. It's not a guarantee that you're going to get all your stuff back, and now you need to put a warning label around that thing. So that's one thing that's bit me quite a few times in the past, is I have just stepped right on and been sneaking up on an edge and just basically blew a hole in my golem. And it really hurts if you've got a lot of mods on it, because you can lose some of them. But I think that's what's, so kind of keep that in mind. But I think that's what we're going to do right now. I want to get the deconstruction table going. I want to start getting some of the materials opened up. I want to start being able to process our materials into their liquid, gas, whatever form it is, so we can start jarring things and kind of move our way towards the infusion, which we're going to need. Short-term goal is going to be to get a gather and a harvest golem, because you're going to need, I can't remember if it's the gather or the harvest, but you need one of them to create the chopper core, which is an infusion one, which will allow us to get a tree farm going. And that'll both help just me in general, as well as Newt with his witchery stuff, is just have a never-ending supply of saplings, basically. So that's kind of where we're at. And then I am still slowly working on getting the underground ready so that I'll be comfortable flipping over to vampire. But before we do that, we'll have to create a better sword, because we're going to need a rapier to get through her armor penetration or armor resistance. I do have several of these imperfect ritual stones made floating down bottom by the Botany area, because these will turn it to night. I'm also going to put another one occasionally that has like source blocks of water over them, which will make it rain if I want to keep it daytime, so that, if necessary, I can pop one of these things, because if I right click on this right now, it'll take 5,000 life points and make it night. So I want to have those as, like, in case of sun, smack stone type thing. Yeah, I think that's it. So what we're going to do is pick up there. I want to get some of that progress going. Like I said, kind of crawl my way towards vampirism and start carving out an area to get this stuff moved downstairs. So we'll have to take the overflow into account when we do that. But I will be back next time, and thank you for watching.